This is Jeff.
Hello.
He's the sound operator on Rock of Ages. And so, tell us, what do you do during the show?
So during the show, my job is obviously to control everything that is heard in the show, other than what's coming acoustically from stage, which I have no control over, unfortunately. But you know, such is physics.
Yep.
But yeah, so basically I need to make sure that you hear what you should be hearing and you don't hear what you shouldn't be hearing, and then just tweak it and mix it as best as possible to make it pleasant and pretty for everyone in the house to have a good show.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So then what is the difference between, well, what happens before the show, before the cast moves onto stage?
Okay, so pre-production is more a sound designer's territory.
Okay.
So that would be the person who's kind of responsible for the general idea of how the show is going to be built audio-wise. So they'll decide, you know, what kind of system to put in, what speakers to use, what desk to use, all the effects that you hear, everything that's used on stage. Basically, they make all the decisions to design the show audio-wise, as their name, you know, indicates.
Sound designer.
Sound designer.
Right.
Yes, I know. Fancy.
So then what do you do as an operator?
So yeah, so they'll design the show, they'll program everything beforehand as much as possible. They'll try and attend as much rehearsals as they can and get the show to the desk to a point that when we come in for tech week, etc., it's kind of just tweaking and building on and making it perfect for the show. So they'll then make the show sound exactly how they want it and then hand it over to me, and basically I'm like a trained monkey. They say put this fader here, and then I do as I'm told mostly, but obviously, you know, because we're not working with a controlled environment, things change, the audience changes, the atmosphere changes, the cast and the band change. We're not working with robots, so every day you kind of have to make educated guesses and changes to your mix to kind of keep the sound designer's design alive, but in a practical context.
So tell us about this desk.
So this is the Digico SD7T. This is possibly the first, maybe second, in South Africa. Split beam, we are very proud of it.
Amazing, as they should be.
Yes, it's more than my house and my car combined. It's great. And this is the industry standard for theatre shows. Basically, it does everything you need and more. And when it comes to mixing the show, as much as possible is pre-programmed, that we spoke about in the production period. And then my main job is just on this middle bank, and every time I go to a new cue, the faders that I need will be at my fingers here, and I mix the show there. And then I go to the next cue and it changes. And then everything else obviously is used during the show, but as little as possible, because that is design work more. So I'll make tweaks as I need to, but ideally most of the show is on that little go button, which really should be bigger, and those 12 faders.
Very cool. This is Tebz. Hey Tebz.
Hey Liz.
He is basically at Radioland the whole show. What is Radioland?
Radioland is the place where all the mics live, which this is part of them. Little radio mics with cables that are used for the show and use radio frequencies.
Amazing. So each cast member gets a mic, right?
Yes.
And do they get put in different places?
Yes, some of them get it here on their forehead,
Yeah?
some of them on the cheek.
Okay. And they get, how do they stay on?
There's tape we use to transport this tape, so we rip a piece of it, put it on the cheek or on the forehead.
Amazing. So Chamonix over there is currently doing mic checks. So they do mic checks before every single show and they check every single mic. So Chamonix is also part of the sound and the audio department. So yeah, thanks Tebzy.
It's a pleasure.
Yay.